In this video, we will find the slope-intercept equation of a line in 3 different situations. Starting with part A, the equation of the line passing through the points -3, 8, and 6, -4. I am going to label these as x1, y1, and x2, y2. And in order to find an equation of a line, I first need a slope, so I'm going to break this into 2 parts. First, we're going to find the slope, and we'll find the slope using the formula for a slope of a line passing through 2 points. The difference in the y's, or y2 minus y1, divided by the difference in the x's, or x2 minus x1. After we've found our slope, we will find the equation. We don't want to forget this step, so I'm going to map out now the whole process. So first, let's go ahead and plug in for our values in the slope formula. I get m equals -4 minus 8 over 6 minus -3, which becomes -12 divided by +9, which is an overall negative value. Canceling out the common factor of 3, I get 4/3. To find the equation of the line, I need to figure out which is the more appropriate formula to use. We have the slope-intercept form. If I write these up here, we've got y equals mx plus b, and I also have the point slope form of a line, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I need to pick the one that matches the data that I have. In this case, I don't know the y-intercept, which is what I would need to know in order to use y equals mx plus b. I can only use this form if I know the y-intercept. So because I don't know the y-intercept, I'm going to choose to use this point slope form of a line instead. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I will plug in this 4/3 that I just calculated for my slope m. I will take my x1 and y1 coordinates and plug those in for x1 and y1. It doesn't matter which point we use at this stage, but it makes sense to use the one that we already labeled with the appropriate subscripts. As long as you take both coordinates from the same point, you'll still get the same slope-intercept equation by the time the whole thing is done. Okay, so my equation at this stage becomes y minus 8 equals -4/3 times x plus 3. I need to distribute into these parentheses. So I get y minus 8 equals -4/3 x, and then -4/3 times +3 becomes -4. If you can't do that in your head, then do it off to the side as a little calculation. I'll do it right here. -4/3 times 3 is like saying times 3 over 1. When we cancel out the common factor of 3, we can see that what we have left here is -4 over 1, and that's where this -4 came from here. So all we have left to do now is finish solving for y. I'm going to add 8 to both sides, and I get y equals -4/3 x plus 4. On to the next example. Find the slope-intercept equation of the line passing through the point -4, -1. So this will be my x1, y1, again for the point slope formula, and parallel to the line x minus 2y equals 6. Remember that parallel is like saying that they have the same slope. So we're going to use this information to find the slope of the line. Let's put this in the slope-intercept form so that we can find its slope. We will do that by solving for y. Negative 2y equals minus x plus 6, and then divide by negative 2 to get into the form y equals 1/2 x minus 3. So it looks like my m is equal to 1/2. I'm going to bring that over to this side and use this slope to find my equation. Okay, so again using the point slope form of a line, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I'm going to plug in negative 4 for my x1, negative 1 for my y1, and, whoops, 1/2 for my m, so that I get y plus 1 equals 1/2 times x plus 4. I need to again distribute this 1/2 into the parentheses to get y plus 1 equals 1/2 x plus 1/2 times 4 is like saying half of 4. So I might be able to do this one in my head. If not, you can do it off to the side like we did in the last example. Subtracting 1 from both sides here gives me y equals 1/2 x plus 1 as my final answer. Finally, the line passing through the origin and perpendicular to this line, 2x plus 3y equals 10. We're going to again use this to find the slope, but this time perpendicular doesn't mean the same slope. It means we want to flip and change the sign to get our slope. So we'll see what that means when we get to the stage where we find the slope. Let's start by solving this for y. 3y equals negative 2x plus 10. Dividing both sides by 3, we get y equals negative 2/3 x plus 10/3. So the slope of this line is negative 2/3, so that means that our slope is going to be what we get when we flip that and change the sign. That one is negative, so our slope is positive, and flipping over the 2/3 gives us 3/2. Passing through the origin, that's the point 0, 0. This problem is going to be a little bit easier because we now know that the y-intercept is equal to 0. In the previous two examples, we were given a point on the line, but we didn't know the y-intercept explicitly. Here we can use y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept form of a line, instead of the point slope form that we had been using, and get to our equation quickly. So we end up with y equals 3/2 x plus 0, but of course we don't need to write plus 0. We just simply write y equals 3/2 x.